Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A group aiming to limit Governor Whitmer's emergency powers says 400,000 people signed their petition, but questions about how they got those signatures have the state attorney general investigating.
With the election a little over a month away, the FBI and U.S. attorneys are concerned about something that's rarely been a problem in the past.
A lot of green showing up on Storm Tracker 4 right now, and of course that means rain coming in as we come to you with Local 4 News at 6. Today, I brought a quick change in the weather on the heels of a perfect weekend.
Yeah, it really was nice this weekend. Let's send it over to Ben for a look at the rain that's moving through now and more that's on the way.
Yeah, guys, this is not going to be good news for drivers tonight. We haven't seen rain for a while, and now we've got the water on the roads. That usually causes some slick spots, even with a light amount of rain. But Storm Tracker 4 is almost solid green across the area. We're starting to see some end of those showers, or at least they're becoming a little bit lighter, a little bit further off to the south. You can see that area that's been pushing in from northern parts of Indiana and Ohio, still on its way, but you can see the back edge of that just now starting to push into Lenawee County. So it's not going to be too much longer before we're done with the showers. A lot of us are going to see an end of this by about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, and then we'll see the north zone hanging on to those showers past 10. Everybody's dry past midnight tonight. The one thing that's not going to change is that cold air. In fact, temperatures are going to be in the 50s through the evening hours. We'll see even chillier numbers in the 7-day forecast. And if you want a sneak peek, it's all in the Local Forecasters app. You can get it, as always, by searching WDIV for free in your app store. Guys?
Okay, Ben, there are questions surrounding more than 500,000 signatures collected by a group hoping to limit Governor Whitmer's emergency powers.
Now Michigan's Attorney General has agreed to look into whether people whose names are on the Unlock Michigan petition knew what they were signing. Grant Herms is live with what both sides of this case are saying. And Grant, there's a lot at stake here.
There is an awful lot at stake here for people on both sides of this. An investigation comes as the group Unlock Michigan crossed a crucial threshold. Their petition has enough signatures to get it in front of the legislature, possibly by the end of the year. Announcing today, Attorney General Dana Nessel is investigating the group behind a petition working to strip some of the powers Governor Gretchen Whitmer used to enforce pandemic shutdown orders. According to Nessel, residents approached by the signature collectors for the group Unlock Michigan told her office they'd been told they were signing petitions for issues like protecting LGBTQ rights, medical marijuana, and initiatives for small businesses, instead of the removal of Whitmer's emergency powers. In a statement, Nessel saying the investigation is about the integrity of the petition process, saying in part that process becomes tainted when petition circulators manipulate and cheat to serve their own agendas. My office will investigate these allegations, and if there is a violation of law, we will prosecute those responsible. The investigation also comes after recent reports connecting Unlock Michigan to an out-of-state group known to use bait-and-switch tactics like the ones alleged this time, and a video obtained by the Detroit Free Press showing a collection trainer advising illegal tactics to collect signatures. In a statement of their own, Unlock Michigan spokesperson called the investigation a political farce, saying in part this sham investigation is designed to deprive Michigan citizens of their constitutional rights to initiate legislation. But we're not going to let that happen. And in just the last half an hour, that same spokesman for Unlock Michigan telling me that they will not be using any of the signatures collected by those in that training session. That's about 3,000 to 4,000 signatures. Now, will that be enough to get the Attorney General to back down? That is an entirely different story, and it's an unlikely one. Kimberly?
So, Grant, the petition does have enough signatures to make it to the next step, regardless of this investigation. So what happens next?
Well, Unlock Michigan plans to turn in all of their signatures this Friday, and then it goes to account through the Secretary of State's office, and it could get to the legislature within 75 to 90 days. But now with this investigation, that will likely complicate that entire process. Yeah. Back to you.
Certainly more to come, and we know you'll keep us posted, Grant. We appreciate it.
The Oakland County Sheriff is asking for your help in the search for a suspect in a deadly shooting outside a Pontiac haunted house. Deputies say their suspect is circled right here in this photo. Police believe he shot and killed a 29-year-old Detroit man after an argument while in line at Erebus. Anyone with any information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. There is an award for information that leads to an arrest, and as always, you can remain anonymous.
Well, the election is just 36 days away, and it's already guaranteed to be an election like none we've ever seen. A record number of people plan to vote absentee, but there's rising concern they and those voting in person could be subject to intimidation tactics due to the divisive nature of today's politics. Local 4 Defender Sean Lay is live with who is concerned about this at the federal level. And Sean, a lot of this has to do with social media.
You are exactly right, Kimberly, and it's the U.S. Attorney right here in downtown Detroit using the Local 4 Defenders really as his megaphone tonight to put out his message to you at home, to be on the lookout, especially on Facebook, for anyone engaging in any type of voter intimidation.
You know what? We've got an election coming up, and it's very contentious. And it's also a federal crime to interfere with somebody's right to vote.
That is U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan, Matthew Schneider, speaking with the Local 4 Defenders. Election day is in 36 days. He's never seen people so fired up. He's concerned political arguments could turn into federal crimes.
We are asking for community help and community support. If you see somebody out there who is threatening you or harassing you about your right to vote, we want to know about that. Call the FBI, call the U.S. Attorney's Office so we can take action.
The concern that people may make terrifying threats to others over politics, and that can scare people from the polls.
And this year, because it's so contentious, because there are so many people on both sides who are so angry, oftentimes when people are angry in modern America, they take to Facebook, and that's what happened in this case. And so when people are doing that regarding the right to vote, we will be keeping our eyes open and looking for those cases and bringing people to justice if they do that.
Arguing over politics, an American tradition, First Amendment protected free speech.
But you can't threaten people, and you can't threaten to block them from going to vote.
And we just checked the FBI nationwide, even putting out the same alert tonight about this potential threat of voter intimidation. And it can be neighbor to neighbor, face to face, or outside of the poll. But they're really saying if you focus on Facebook and you see something, give them a call right away. We are live tonight. Sean Lay, Local 4 Defenders.
Okay, Sean, we appreciate it.
Tomorrow looks to be a big day in the race for the White House, with President Trump and Joe Biden set to debate for the first time at 9 p.m. It's going to take place at Case Western Reserve University in the Cleveland Clinic. The 90-minute debate will be split into 6 topics. Those have been chosen by the moderator, Chris Wallace. The Trump and Biden records, the Supreme Court, COVID-19, the economy, race and violence in our cities, and the integrity of the election. 15 minutes will be spent on each of those topics. Our Grant Herms and the Local 4 Trust Index team will be fact-checking this first debate coming up live tomorrow night. So you can watch the debate on Local 4 at 9, and while you're watching, follow along with our fact-checking going on at clickondetroit.com, the first of 3 scheduled debates.
Taking a look at today's coronavirus headlines affecting Metro Detroit and Michigan as a whole, the state has confirmed 8 deaths and just more than 1,300 cases of COVID-19 over the past 2 days.
State has also released its weekly data on outbreaks in schools, and it shows colleges, not K through 12 schools, are the real hot spots. Michigan State University has the most cases with nearly 1,300. Grand Valley next with 811.
And the state is re-upping with the Suburban Collection Showplace, signing a new deal to ensure that space is available as a field hospital should the need arise between now and the new year. The state will pay $975,000 a month for October, November, and December. That's down from the previous rate of $1.2 million, but the square footage has been reduced as well. This past spring, a total of 16 patients were treated at Suburban Collection Showplace Field Hospital.
Ever since coronavirus arrived, the numbers have shown it was hitting people of color disproportionately.
And that's starting to change, and the governor's office is taking some credit for it. Priya Mann has a look at where things stand. Priya.
When COVID-19 hit, we saw the effects on Black and brown communities. Now Governor Whitmer and her administration say those disparities have dramatically decreased. While black people make up 15% of Michigan's population, they accounted for half of the deaths in the early days of tracking COVID-19 data. Governor Whitmer and Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist launched the Coronavirus Task Force on Racial Disparities, saying it's helped us dramatically reduce the number of African Americans who have been impacted by COVID-19.
We've been able to put in place interventions, whether it was testing protocol expansion, workplace protocol recommendations to make sure people could be safe at work, those people of color overrepresenting those essential jobs, masks and conferring to the mask mandates that we put in place in the state.
The state created the Rapid Response Grant Program to help local organizations tackle racial disparities. The task force distributed large quantities of masks to people of color and increased access to testing through drive-through, walk-up, and mobile testing sites. So far, the state has awarded 31 grants totaling nearly $20 million. The funding covers food and housing insecurity needs, technology, and access to testing and flu vaccines.
You've been able to see the overall trend start to decrease, but we're still focusing on this. It's been a priority for the task force and a priority for the state.
In Detroit, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, Priya. Well, tonight there are 11 coronavirus vaccines around the world in stage 3 clinical trials. Each of those trials needs to recruit tens of thousands of volunteers. Well, one couple who signed up says they're doing it to make a difference.
And my first thought was, no, this is crazy, because he has had health issues in the past, and I consider him as in the high risk category, which is why we've been so freaked out about the whole COVID thing.
That was Ann Brooks's reaction when her husband Dave Gomez told her he wanted to sign up for phase 3 of the Moderna vaccine trial.
It was I don't want to say scary or really nervous, but you're getting this injection and you don't know.
The couple works together in real estate, meeting lots of different people and entering people's homes, making them good candidates to test the vaccine.
We essentially do the same thing. So, it's...
We do everything together.
The vaccine trials also need people of color to participate, communities that have been severely impacted by COVID.
I do have that Hispanic background, so that may have been part of it as well.
Both have received their first of 2 doses.
When I felt like it was safe enough for me to say yes, it really kind of moved into, I feel kind of patriotic doing it.
Anne not only wants to be part of the solution, she also wants to witness the process.
There are a lot of conflicting messages out there right now, and I need to know for myself that if something does come out, that it is safe for me to take, because I don't want to get sick. I don't want my friends to get sick.
Well, neither has had any side effects, and both say it felt like getting a flu shot. Anne says when a vaccine is approved, she hopes people will listen to the experiences of those who have participated in the trials.
A Macomb County man is in some trouble for stealing campaign signs. Ahead, you'll find out how many he admits to taking and what he did to them once he had them.
We'll have that coming up, and here's Hank.
I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank. If you're anything like me, you may have a little bit of a coffee addiction. Well, good news, because tomorrow, National Coffee Day, and big deals are being rolled out at some of your favorite coffee spots. We're going to talk about it coming up in my headlines.